Welcome, brothers and sisters, to today's morning heart devotion. And to start off, we'd like to offer greetings to our heavenly parents and true parents. 천징 참부님께 경배! 바로. And to lead us into the family pledge, I'd like to invite up Rev.Chung Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 태상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 시민의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Milhan. And to open us up in prayer, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Loretta Anderson. So, Mrs. Anderson, please offer the opening prayer.
Please join me in prayer. Thank you so very, very much, our precious Heavenly Parent, our true parents of heaven and earth and all of humankind. We're so thankful and grateful to be alive today, alive at this time in history, these golden years, the times when the true parents are on the earth. The great and terrible day of the Lord has come. Great truth, great love, great opportunity is here. And we have been brought here this morning to receive something precious, something divine, something beyond measure, priceless word from heaven. And this word is your love. It is deep. It is wide. It is far-reaching. It is merciful and loving and kind. And as our Heavenly Parent, we are learning who you are and who we are supposed to be. We're so thankful and so grateful to have the mirror of the Word to help us to see who we are according to the standard, but it gives us great hope. It is not depressing. It is so enriching, so uplifting. It's so miraculous to realize that this word can take us either down or up, depending on our attitude. So we pray this morning, Heavenly Parent, that as we are thankful and grateful for being alive, that we're present here, and what we get here, we can share with others, and the sparks and flames of hope and happiness and joy will be kindled all throughout the world. We pray for our hearts to receive the precious word, the precious love of God this morning from Dr. Yong. We thank you, Heavenly Parent, as our ancestors are present with us, learning every day. We thank you that this is recorded so future generations can have this precious word from an earlier time. But we count it all joy because our true parents will be victorious, and we will become the people who can help them to be established as the victors throughout the cosmos. All together with my brothers and sisters, I offer this prayer in thankfulness and gratitude in the name of all of our blessed central families. Aju,
아주. Oh, Loretta Anderson, long time no see. Thank you for your such a beautiful prayer. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Anderson, for your wonderful prayer. And now, brothers and sisters, we like to take this time to share with each other appreciation points. So if you're prompted to join a breakout room, please click join. And if you're here by yourself, please take this time to reflect on what you're grateful for. So let us go into our breakouts. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you had a wonderful time sharing with each other your gratitude points, and hopefully you put a smile on someone else's face. And with that, we'd like to share to the whole community their gratitude points. I'd like to invite up Mr. Richard Michaels. So Mr. Richard, if you can please unmute yourself and share at this time.
Right, trying to get the technology to work. One point I appreciate from Dr. Yong sharing is we got to appreciate the problems that come our way. In one sense, we get to be the power. Wait, hold on. My brain's going fast. So if I get the right words in the right order again. But problems are opportunity to see if we can turn things around to be good potential. I'm still learning. Before the church, I had spent years as a troubleshooter in like a technical field. But I got to thinking, well, what are the principles used in the Bible? What are the good principles to look? What are principles used to return to good? So I appreciate the fine principle gives more in-depth insight. And Dr. Yong takes it more deeper as well. Yet I'm aware because some areas I can catch more quickly. I can see he has some insights, but how can I still instill more insights in my life and hopefully encourage others as well? Not more to learn, obviously, because I don't know everything, but at least I'll share what God has given to me. And by giving, then hopefully I'll learn something as well, so I can encourage others so we can stand up and bring out more good. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Oh, Richard Michaels, oh, Heavenly Richard Michaels. Thank you very much. 감사합니다. Beautiful sharing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richard. And to share next, I'd like to invite up Aunt Debbie Scott. So Aunt Debbie, if you can please unmute and share at this time.
Hello, Dr. Yong, brothers and sisters. Yeah, I was sharing with Milhan. So can we all get together and see everybody here? Okay. Yeah, I was sharing with Milhan that, studying Noah's course has been a little bit painful because, he's talking about husband, wife, and all this great unity. Well, when you don't have a spouse, it's a little painful. Yeah. So, but, I'm thinking the reason I went this course is because my own dad was unfaithful to my mother, and my grandparents never slept together. My maternal, paternal grandparents, they never slept together. So there's a lot of disunity in my whole lineage. God knows how long it goes back. So of my three brothers, God chose me to be able to pay the indemnity. So I gratefully accept this course. And, I'm glad that I could do it and my three brothers don't have to do it and my kids don't have to do it. So, I'm grateful for this course. And when I was a kid, I used to think, I was Catholic, I'd love to be a nun, but I want to have children. How can I do that? So, actually, I live a celibate life now for many years, and I've got gorgeous kids. So my childhood dream came true.
Okay, then your husband. Huh? And who is that?
No.
Who is this? Oh, his name is Scott?
No, his name is Tom Lee. He's a brother in the church.
I see. So sorry. Okay, so why don't you share?
Tom, what are you grateful for?
Well, I'm 82 years old and I'm not ready to get married.
I see.
Unemployed.
Yeah, I see. Anyway, thank you for your attending morning devotion. And then middle, who is this?
Ingrid.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi.
So,
I just want to say that I'm grateful to be alive, and I have a job now, and so I'm working, and I'm just grateful that I can get up in the morning and get in the car and go to work. So I'm grateful.
Okay, thank you, Deborah and Scott. 감사합니다. Thank you for your sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing your appreciation points with each other. And now let us take this time to prepare our hearts and our minds to be able to receive the internal guidance from this morning. So let us welcome our content director, Dr. Chunshik Yong. Welcome, Dr. Yong.
안녕하세요. Good morning, good morning. My dear brothers and sisters, clergy and elders of peace, 안녕하십니까? Yeah, I am still in Kona. Yesterday, we had a breakfast meeting with Pastor Seiji Chi and his wife, who is the pastor of Ohana family of Living God. He is a dedicated ACLC pastor in Hawaii, and he's an elder brother of Minister Gina Sykes. So we had a beautiful breakfast meeting. Actually, this minister is so inspired, by our true parents. We had sharing many things. I really appreciate that. I think he can someday organizing the Pastor Summit in Hawaii. Then we flew to Kona, Hawaii, and visited, Hawaiian Queen Coffee Warehouse building. Thank you so much, our Bruce, for your hard work, and he really explained everything about all our fishing farm, and he's so much still energetic and very powerful. I really appreciate, his effort. Thank you so much. Today, I'd like to speak with the title, The Land of Death is the Land of Life, and the land of life is the heavenly land, from the contents of True Mother's memoir. I'd like to invite our beautiful honey. Please read.
The next day, we convened the Youth and Family Festival for Nation Building and Peace at the prestigious Ko-Pitch Theater in Phnom Penh. More than 4,000 participants attended, including heads of state from around the world, as well as Deputy Prime Minister Bin Chin, Chief Secretary Yim Nola of the Ministry of Home Affairs, and numerous government officials. As I officiated the blessing ceremony held as the culminating event of the Youth and Family Festival, I blessed the nation as Heavenly Cambodia, a nation where our Heavenly Parent can dwell. In preparation for this historic event, I offered heartfelt prayers and devotion for the sake of Cambodia. Between 1975 and 1979, the blood of many innocent people was shed because of a wrong ideology. Some 2 million people were starved and slaughtered because of communism. Today, nearly 40 years later, Heavenly Parent sent the only begotten daughter and mother of peace to Cambodia to bless this land as a heavenly nation. Heaven's providence has multiple dimensions. From the human perspective, my visit to Cambodia may have been a visit to a nation to host an event. However, Heaven's providence is not so one-dimensional. I had to liberate both the souls of the victims who had been unjustly killed and the souls of the young people whom the government had forced to commit murder and treat their fellow human beings with terrible cruelty. During my benediction prayer, I first comforted Heavenly Parent, whose heart was torn to pieces by the massacres in Cambodia. I then liberated the souls of those who had died as a result of the atrocities. I blessed the past, present, and future of Cambodia through the blessing ceremony so its young people of today can begin preparing for a hopeful future.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. When I work in Cambodia and I visit to killing field very often, I could see such a really terrible cruelty. At the time, more than 2 million people killed by communists. At the time, population is, just only less than 6 million people. Then one third of the people killed by communists. How much terrible it was. However, my brothers and sisters, God is claiming after paying such indemnity. You look at the Korean War, more than 3 million people killed by communists, and then paid all the indemnity, and then Korea, become chosen country after paying such incredible indemnity. Many people are saying that why Cambodia? Dictatorship or what, so many reasons. How come Cambodia become like that? But you need to know that God's providence always, God's providence through the indemnity. Cambodia paid incredible indemnity. You look at such miserable souls and victims. So now God's side claim back and then become one of the main God's providential countries. Okay, based on this content, I'd like to talk about a little bit about at the time through mother situation. Mother said before leaving for the world tour, True Mother hosted the Heavenly Korea Sub-Region 5 and 4 conferences. Since the tour started without a break upon arriving in Cambodia, True Mother suffered many health problems. However, to keep the last promise to True Father as well as Heavenly Parents, True Mother decided to put her life on the line and devoted herself with all her might. True Mother said, because I am the mother of mankind, the mother of cosmos, and the mother of peace, I had to move forward without stopping for Heavenly Parent and mankind. When True Father died, True Mother made a promise in front of True Father's holy body to set 천일구 on this earth until the day True Mother died. Wow, our mother's dedication and 정성. It is really, really incredible. Let's appreciate our True Mother. Next, I'd like to introduce True Mother's benediction at the Youth and Family Festival at Peace Palace in Phnom Penh and Cambodia. Heavenly Honey, please.
True Mother's benediction at the Youth and Family Festival, Peace Palace in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, November 20, 2019. In particular, on this day in Cambodia, you have given birth to blessed families that can enter heaven with your lineage. The blood of many innocent citizens had to be tragically shed due to the wrong ideology of ignorant human beings. When you looked upon the actions of such ignorant human beings, how much pain you must have felt. You have endured so much. However, through the true parents, you are now bestowing the grace of the blessing upon this people. Beloved Heavenly Parent, thank you. I pray that those who have received the blessing today will fulfill their responsibility as tribal messiahs before heaven and their nation, so that they can liberate the ancestors who had to be sacrificed in the gloomy past. I pray that they can educate the young people who will become the leaders of this nation. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for allowing this opportunity for this nation to receive heaven's blessing for eternity as children of blessed families who are like sunflowers looking toward Heavenly Parent. Dear Heavenly Parent, today, true parents are blessing Cambodia to become Heavenly Cambodia. I pray that this people can gracefully accept heaven's tradition and become the nation that will fulfill its responsibility as the first nation in Asia. I proclaim this in the name of the true parents, Aju.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. My dear brothers and sisters, now our beloved true mother focus on the Korean Peninsula province, centering on heavenly unified Korea. So now you see the Cambodia is doing incredible role. Cambodia really now really connect to all the nations which really connect to the North Korea. So now really many things going on, centering on Cambodia. Let's really seriously pray, really our mother's dream come true. So sooner or later, really need to unify between North Korea and South Korea. How much our true mother serious for her Jeongsong and prayer, for reunification between North Korea and South Korea, how to really offer fatherland to God, our really true parents. And then Living Divine Principle Introduction 5, a principal course for the inactivity and weakness of today's religions. Let's study EDP of the introduction.
The reason that religious people have been unable to accomplish their mission. What is the reason that religious people, though earnestly searching for internal truth, have been unable to accomplish their God-given mission? Just as people attain perfection of character only when the mind and body are fully united, the two worlds of essence and phenomena must join in perfect harmony before the ideal world can be realized. Spiritual joy is incomplete without genuine physical happiness. Religions have made strenuous efforts to deny life in this world in their quest for the life eternal. They have despised the pleasures of the body for the sake of spiritual bliss. Yet, however hard they may try, people cannot cut themselves off from the reality of this world or annihilate the desire for physical pleasures, which follows them like a shadow and cannot be shaken off. This world and its desires tenaciously grab hold of religious people, driving them into the depths of agony. Such is the contradiction which plagues their devotional lives. Even many enlightened spiritual leaders, still torn by this contradiction, have met a sad end. Herein is a principal cause for the inactivity and weakness of today's religions. They have not overcome this self-contradiction. In step with the progress of science, the human intellect has become highly sophisticated, requiring a scientific approach to understanding reality. The traditional doctrines of religions, on the other hand, are largely devoid of scientific explanations. The ultimate purpose of religion can be attained only when one first believes it in one's heart and then puts it into practice. However, without first understanding, beliefs do not take hold. Understanding is the starting point for knowledge. Today, however, people will not accept what is not demonstrable by the logic of science. Accordingly, since religions are now unable to guide people even to the level of understanding, much less to belief, they are unable to fulfill their purpose. Even internal truth demands logical and convincing explanations. Indeed, throughout the long course of history, religions have been moving toward the point where their teachings could be elucidated scientifically.
Okay. Today, focusing on the content of this EDP, we will study True Father's word relate to this. Please read.
Science and religion aim at the unification of both sides. In the latter half of the 16th century, religion and science were divided. In today's last days, they are entering the phase of unity in order to achieve one goal. Science is taking the form of unity first. Why is this so? Because before Adam was created as a complete human being, his body was created first, and then life was blown into him. This is the principle of creation. However, today, religion and science stand in opposing positions. But this is not the principle. In the last days, science takes the form of unity before religion.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. True Father said in the letter, half of the 16th century, religion and science were divided. In today's last days, they are entering the phase of unity in order to achieve one goal. Just as an ideal human being's mind and body are united, religion representing the mind and science representing the body must be united to achieve the ideal world. Science is taking the form of the unity first. Why is this so? Because before Adam was created as a complete human being, his body was created first, and then human's soul was blown into him. Since God's creation was created from external to internal, and from internal to more internal, science takes the form of unification in the providence of restoration. For that reason, true parents have continued the conference on the unity of the science. Looking at this, we can see that the true parents have also continued the providence of restoration according to the principle of creation. Internally, they continue to carry out religious unity and interreligious movements. Father, really, true parents carry on, God's providence according to principle of creation. Wow, this is really our true parents absolutely follow the way of the principle of creation. However, today, religion and science stand in opposing positions, but this is not the principle. In the last day, science takes the form of unity before religion. Continue.
Science trend toward integration, unity. During the past centuries, it is true that science was divided into specialization due to the excessive focus on analytical methods. However, recently, knowledge is showing a desirable trend toward integration and unity due to an integral methodology. Unified science is a prime example of this. And even though today's science is highly specialized, all fields are pursuing the same goal of realizing a world of abundance and prosperity.
Thank you. From the providential point of view of God, from the perspective of science trend toward integration, unity, if we see unified science as the origin, and analytical methods of the science correspond to division, and this must be reunion by integral methods again. God's providence of restoration goes through the process of origin, division, union, like this. We understand, already you learned what is the origin and division and union, right? So God's process of restoration also going through same kind of the process, Okay, continue.
Science trend toward integration, unity. However, when looking at the situation of today's world, I cannot help but bitterly lament about a continuing phenomenon. It is the fact that even with the dazzling development of science and amazing economic prosperity, there are still unfortunate events taking place everywhere in the world.
Despite remarkable economic prosperity and scientific development, unfortunate events take place all over the world because all civilizations use it centered on themselves and only as a means to benefit their country. Therefore, our greatest enemy is egoism and our self-centered way of thinking. All scientific development and convenience of civilization must be used through a life living for the sake of others. If we really practice the principle of living for the sake of others, and then we can maximum utilize the science. See? Science and all the technical method. Actually, problem is our egoism, our self-centeredness. That is our main problems. Today's youth ministry, I'd like to talk some very important issue, my brothers and sisters. Recently, I'm continuously talking about the Noah's family, right? Today, I really seriously focus on the principle of inheritance since through Noah's family. Because Ham was ashamed of Noah, he inherited sin. If a child respects his father, even when he sees his father's flaws, he becomes a better child than his father. When Ham sees his father's naked body and has a heart to serve God, he becomes a better child than his father. That is the moment inheritance takes place. Looks like very simple, but very important principle of inheritance. Understand what I mean? This is very, very important. When Ham sees his father's naked body, and he need to think, not external way. He need to think, because heavenly parents, with my father for 120 years. Heavenly parents with him all the time, not 1 year, not 10 years, not 70 years, for 100 years. And finally, what is the outcome? My father was really correct. And then he need to keep that kind of standard or respect his father. So when Ham see his father's naked body, then he need to think, maybe there is a meaning. There is a meaning. There is somehow the meaning. And then still he need to keep that kind of respect toward his father. Do not think physically. Do not think according to the environment and situation. He need to think meaningfully. He need to think more deeply about that. If he think that way, even though can see some kind of the really, shortcoming for his father, but still respect and think centering on God's point of view, this is the moment inheritance takes place. A child must be better than the father to inherit from him. If the standard of the person inheriting is lower than or falls below the one bequeathing, inheritance cannot happen. A child who is responsible for the parents' shortcomings can inherit the parents. The principle of inheritance is that those who criticize their parents will never inherit, and that they will never become a better child than their parents. This is incredible principle, my brothers and sisters. We need to really reflect on that, my brothers and sisters. Therefore, the development of our unification movement depends on how to raise our children to be better than us. It is also about how we raise the second generation to be better people than first generation. If a child is not better than his or her parents, and the second generation is not better than the first generation, any organization will go downward. My brothers and sisters, very, very important. We are talking about inheritance and development and multiplication. So when I look at the Noah's family, and then when I about receiving our true parents' guidance, the conclusion is very simple. What is the purpose of our life? How can I raise up my children as a filial sons and daughters? My children loves God. My children love true parents more than me. Then your education is already over. That way, as a first generation, as a parents, your life will become successful life or failure. How can we know? Through the result. Your children love God more than you. You are already successful father. You are already successful mother. Our second generation love God, love true parents, love God's providence more than first generation. I am telling you, guarantee, our movement will be prosperous. Why? according to principle of inheritance is like that. That's why no matter what, no matter how much we put effort and sacrifice in the meeting, most important thing is raise our children. Then our children better than me. He loves all mankind, or she loves all mankind more than me. Then I already man of success. Very important. Our purpose of life as a first generation, how to raise my children as the filial sons and daughters. My children shed tears for God more than me. My children truly sacrifice for heavenly parents and true parents more than me. Then we already accomplished our goal, my brothers and sisters. We really need to reflect on that. Of course, including me, including you, we are not yet reached that standard. We can say because I go to front line, pioneer, what all kind of reason. However, conclusion is very important. We cannot run away from our portion of responsibility. We need to really realize that what is our main portion of responsibility in the family? We need to serve our children like God. Our children are our God. Serve them, love them, more than talking, more than blaming. Encourage them, praise them, show the model life for our children. If our second generation not better than first generation, then our movement no hope. My brothers and sisters, any child criticized for parents, his own parents, he never ever become his not better than his own parents. Any Cain criticize Abel, that is a proof that you are not better than your Abel. Cannot inherit through criticism. How many children do you have? How many of them filial sons and daughters? Who among the children who really can inherit? Some of child love God more than me, work harder than me, more than me. Very important principle. Then where should our unification movement go? The focus should be placed on the education of a second generation and young people. Through the grasping the current situation of our movement, we know that more than 10,000 second generation are in the United States unification movement. I really thank our Reverend David Randall and Taka, and then day and night working very hard, except to go to some other spiritual group or other group, except them. Of course, many of them not much deeply relate to our movement. Can you imagine that? More than 10,000 second generation. We have all the name list. We have God. We have true parents. We have eternal truth. We receive the blessing. We have everything. From now on, important thing is how to raise up our second generation. This is the issue. Where should we focus? That's why True Mother asked me to raise up second generation. Raise up second generation. Because we have a beautiful tradition. We have a true pattern. We have true pattern. We have the tradition of the unification movement. Blessing. We can connect everybody, centering on blessing, centering on blood lineage. That's why just keep purity, just only take care of them very well. Our unification movement, day by day growing up. If we really take care of second generation very well, no worry about the money issue. No worry about the witnessing matter. Automatically multiply. My brothers and sisters, where to focus? So very clear here. Or many people say, time is too late, whatever. And I am telling you the reality. No matter what, we need to go back again. Even though there is a very much a far relationship between parent and child, let's try again. Go back to origin. Need to understand principle of the inheritance. No other way. Even though little bit too late, but without giving up. Keep on trying again and again and again. There is no other way, my brothers and sisters. Actually, our second generation is very, very sensitive. If they really know God's will, their blood lineage, of the quality of their blood lineage, much, much better than us. I still have a lot of hope, actually. Our second generation, when I visit to each place, even yesterday in Hawaii, wow, most of the second generation turn up. I was so glad. That's why when we create some kind of the momentum, created environment, all our children will come back. I strongly believe. Through the morning devotion, I can see our first generation, many people have a life-changing experience and then creating a beautiful artistic environment. I am telling you, gradually come back one by one. In the respect, we don't know how important our UTS is. We need to further develop our UTS. Only when education survives can we see the future of the unification movement. Look at the Mormon Church. The Mormon Church has more than 50,000 people aged 18 to 22 worldwide on missionary work. That is a kind of a compulsory course. Willingly, happily, and then go to the world as a missionary. In American society, when I visited Utah and met the Mormon church leaders, I was so surprised. Even under this kind of the war, terrible war, how come we ask our second generation, her friend, most of them are almost 100, almost 95%, 97%, the relate to the Mormon. And then we ask our second generation, what is their commitment? Almost 100% they become missionaries. Wow, I really deeply repent. We have such great content. Problem is we don't have a proper educational system. We do not know how to educate them. We have content. We have everything, actually. My brothers and sisters, only when education is present can the organization develop. So I am looking for a righteous person who wants to invest in the future education industry of UTS. I'm seriously pray about that. You know, in Korea, many very rich people before die, they offer their all entire property toward the school. Most of them offer the school, like Seoul University or very famous university. They know that where to focus for the sake of the young people, for the sake of the education. That's why our movement, we really need to think future education industry of UTS. I am certain that God is preparing a righteous person. The most rewarding project is the education project. Do not rely on True Mother. Do not rely on Korea. Already True Mother have done enough for us. Let's do independently and then really raising up our second generation, finally support True Mother, support fatherland, and support for the sake of the world providence. Our church should go beyond the Mormon church and also train to serve all people of the world by sending our second generations as world missionaries. The Mormon church showed the model first as John the Baptist. God always sets up the John the Baptist first and show his journey as an example. From this point of view, True Mother created a heavenly military academy at Sunmun University and is training our second generation. I really appreciate our True Mother. An inheritance of the value is ruined unless it goes to someone better than me. Money should also go to someone who knows the value of money. Otherwise, the money becomes an enemy. It should go to someone who brings actual results or makes a profit. Money is a symbol of a person. It is the substance of the heart. When money is well spent, it is God. And when it is not used well, it becomes an enemy. My brothers and sisters, what is the principle of the inheritance? The object partner should be better than me. Then he or she can inherit. So, to do that, as a first generation, as a leader, as an able figure, we need to take ownership, really serve our second generation, serve our children. And then they will be better than us. Then our movement have incredible hope. This is the important point. We can learn through Noah's family. Anyone criticize their father and mother's shortcoming? Anyone criticizing your Abel's shortcoming? They never ever better than their own parents. They never ever better than their own Abel. No. Cannot inherit through criticism. My brothers and sisters, we really learn very important things from Noah's family. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yong, for this incredible message today. And yes, education is so important for the current and future generations. And you are one of the best examples hosting Morning Heart Devotion, educating us each and every single day. So thank you so much, Dr. Yong. And with that, brothers and sisters, let us go into our breakouts so that we can digest the materials that we heard and be able to share our insights and any takeaways. And so if you're prompted to join, please click join. And if you're joining here by yourself, please take this time to reflect. So let us go into our breakouts. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you had incredible insights and takeaways that you were able to share with one another. Wow, my breakout room was full of incredible, beautiful moments. And so I want to first invite up the Lozano couple, Ivan and Christine Lozano, to share.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Dr. Young, good morning. Thank you for
thank you, Lozano couple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I was sharing in my reflection that, I joined the church when I was very young. I joined right after high school, and I was always very excited and very grateful for our elder couples and your generation and our older generation. I was fortunate to attend STF when it first started with President Naukimi. He was in my team, and we spent many nights suffering together doing conditions. But I never truly understood the value and the importance of inheriting all of that love and all of that sacrifice. And it is because of all your teachings and all your education that you've been giving us that I can truly see the value and the importance of being able to inherit that. We make so much sacrifice or so much devotion that you put in this moment for True Mother and for God and for God's heart and for True Father. And we need to be able to appreciate that love, but also take part of the process so that we can inherit it. So thank you so much for your education. I truly feel like I'm learning everything for the first time again, even though I've heard it so many times. So thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Ivan, so much. About your wife?
Hi, Dr. Young. I just wanted to truly say thank you so much for all the devotion that you've shown us. And my mother went to spirit world recently, and through her sacrifice, I'm truly thankful and also repentful, because she has shown the way, but I couldn't appreciate it while she was with me in the physical world. And she has shown us that we truly have a blessing through our children. And I'm so thankful that I need to take care of our children, second generation, so that they can come back to God and form a stronger bond with God while they're physically on earth. And I'm trying to inherit my mother's faith. And every day your message is as though God is speaking through you to me directly. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything, Dr. Young.
Wow. You are really filial daughter. You have that kind of the really, heartfelt feeling toward your mother and your parents. This is really incredible. Wow, also just now I hear the Evans about sharing also so very beautiful. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful sharing, Lozano couple. And next, I'd like to invite up Temple Ibekwe, joining us all the way from Nigeria. So Temple, if you can please mute and share this time.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Young. Good morning, brothers and sisters. I'm always happy to be here every afternoon to listen to Dr. Young words of motivation. I love you, Dr. Young. I love you so much, sir.
Wow. Now you are joining from Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you so much. Who encouraged you to join morning devotion?
Yeah, I met Mr. Le. So he introduced me to a pastor in Nigeria. I went for the 7 days workshop. It was a life-changing moment.
I see. You are the one of that guy. I see, understand.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so I learned a lot from that 7 days workshop. I was closer to God. I learned a lot, though my dad was a pastor, but it was a life-changing moment for me. So
Wow.
yeah, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy the way UPF love and respect their members, respect each other, treat each other. So I'm happy to be
Wow.
here. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you
Me
so
too.
much.
I love you so much. 와, 200회. Thank you from Nigeria. 감사합니다. From all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Temple, for sharing your love all the way from Nigeria to all of us. And brothers and sisters, yes, we have no idea where and when people are ready to hear God's word through Morning Heart Devotion. So let us continue to put in the effort of sharing, whether it be the Facebook link, YouTube link, Zoom link, or just the website, edu.familyfed.org. Let us continue to expand this influence of Morning Heart Devotion to all across the world. And also, if you can turn your attention towards the chat, we will be posting up the donation link so that you have the opportunity to be able to offer something out of your heart in gratitude. So thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for really sharing your incredible insights and takeaways. Now we're going to be receiving a musical offering. And to make that offering, I'd like to invite up Miss Rebecca Calix.
Wow, Rebecca, today, do you want to offer a song? Thank you, Rebecca.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. So today I will be performing an original. This is a song, it's actually the first song I ever composed. I wrote this the day True Father passed away. I remember waking up, or I remember that day, everything just felt kind of uneasy. And at home and in the community, I can tell everyone was very sad before we heard the news about True Father. And when we were told that True Father had passed away, I could just feel the sorrow. I could feel how sad my parents were. And I was devastated. And we were all wondering how the church was going to turn out and how the second generation were going to be without having True Father and without that beautiful heart and that beautiful person that was here. So I wrote this song because it helped me kind of center my emotions and center how I was feeling. And this song is dedicated to him. So it's called Father. Father, I'm listening. I'm waiting to hear your voice. And Father, I'm praying, wondering where you are. And Father, dear Father, now that you're gone, I'm lost. And Father, I need you holding me in your arms, 'cause you were the one who helped me see, who held me close, who loved me. And now that you're not here, I fear I will fall without you home. And Father, I'm scared of what will become of me And Father, I'm crying 'cause I don't know where to go, 'cause you were the one who helped me see, who held me close, who loved me. And now that you're not here, I fear I will fall. Without you home, oh, there's an emptiness inside of me, and I don't know what to do. But when I look up to the sky, I see the smiling face of you. Cause you were the one who helped me see, who held me close, who loved me. And now that you're not here, I fear I will fall. Without you home, 'cause you were the one who helped me see, who held me close, who loved me. And now that I know that you're still here, I'll find my way. 'Cause you are home. You are home.
Wow, my God. Your song remind our true Father so much. When I hear your song, you are really have a filial heart. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Really, we miss our true Father so much. Thank you so much, Rebecca, again. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, for such a beautiful song. I don't know if you noticed in the chat, but someone said, we need your CDs. So if you'd like to produce it and release it, we'd definitely be happy and be a positive thing to the world. All right, brothers and sisters. So to be able to wrap up this morning heart devotion experience in prayer, I'd like to invite up Miss Rika Otsubo to offer the closing prayer.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Please join me in prayer. Dear our most beloved Heavenly Parents, true parents, Jesus, good morning. Here we are gathered together as your sons and daughters, Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much for this beautiful environment you provide for us each and every single morning. For Dr. Yong, you can work through Dr. Yong to give us a message, Heavenly Parents. Today, Dr. Yong was talking about how we must better educate ourselves and how second generations must have a stronger life of faith than our first generations, Heavenly Parents. In the future, us second generations, we will like our children, third generations, to come closer to you and to parents. And in order for that to happen, Heavenly Parents, we must constantly come back to you, Heavenly Parents. And I pray that we can be able to not just rely on our first generations for this life of faith, but we can really take ownership over our own life of faith and come closer to you, Heavenly Parents. I pray that we can be able to learn so much and inherit so much from them. And I pray that we don't forget that True Mother is still here on earth, Heavenly Parents, and True Father is watching over us, protecting us, and has so much faith and hope for us from the spirit world, Heavenly Parents. I pray that we can be able to always unite together with our able figures and really be able to have this unconditional love towards everybody in our lives, Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much for always having so much hope and faith and love in each and every single one of us, no matter what we're going through right now, Heavenly Parents. We know that you're here with us, and although we may forget at times, I pray that we can be able to open up our hearts and be able to receive your love in every single moment, Heavenly Parents. I pray that we can be able to become sons and daughters who can make you smile, who can make you proud, and keep moving forward and growing together with you, Heavenly Parents. Yes, thank you so much. I pray that we can be able to pray for your mother, her health and safety until she, for her coming to America, and praying for Dr. Yong traveling all over America, Heavenly Parents. He is at his last stop in Hawaii, and I pray that he can be able to fly back home safely as well. Thank you so much for everything. 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. I like in this prayer in all of our names in my name, Rikotsubo, Dharmakoto, and Sisekotsubo, blessing your family, Aju.
Aju, wow, thank you, Rika Ochibo. I was so happy to see you and meet you the day before yesterday. Thank you so much, Rika. I think this, Hawaiian time is very early morning. Thank you for your joining. And then please do very well about the club activity, okay? Thank you, Rika, 오츠보. God bless you. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Rika, for that wonderful closing prayer. And thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining today for Morning Heart Devotion. And thank you so much, Dr. Yong. We love you very much and are grateful for all the investment you make for each and every one of us. So with that, I wish that you have a beautiful, happy, and victorious day today, everyone. And we'll see each other tomorrow.
네, 감사합니다. Thank you.
감사합니다.